Our first topic is on the worksheet. This happens to be one of my favorite topics, and I think it's very easy to complete. The worksheet is usually created in Microsoft Excel. This is not a required report or a required step in the accounting process. However, it is useful. Out of the many business clients I have at the accounting firm, we only create worksheets for about 3 clients because they have very complicated entries. The worksheet aids us in preparing the financial statements and any interim statements. Remember, interim statements are usually the quarterly or monthly reports. We will actually be creating financial statement columns on the worksheet, and you can see what they look like before we prepare them. The worksheet will show the effects of adjusting entries and links the accounts together on one document, making it easier to identify issues and also easier to identify any errors. This is what the worksheet looks like. We briefly discussed some of this at the end of chapter 3, so some of this may look familiar. First, you want to list all your general ledger accounts along with their balances from the trial balance. Debits should equal credits, and if it does not, then there is an error on your trial balance. Next, you want to input all of your adjusting entries. This worksheet can be prepared before you actually input the adjusting entries onto your books. This way, if there is a mistake, you can correct it before making the entry. Debits also equal credits here, and if not, then there is a mistake in the adjusting entries. After the adjusting entries have been inputted, you want to update the trial balance to include all the adjustments that were made. This is called the adjusted trial balance, and this is where we left off with on chapter 3. What we are going to do next is use the new updated balances from the adjusted trial balance and create the financial statements. All of the income statement accounts will go on the income statement columns. This would be the revenues and expenses. Initially, debits and credits do not equal. The difference between the columns would be the amount of net income. You will include net income on the worksheet in order for the debit and credit columns to equal. Don't worry, this is pretty easy to do. Finally, the last columns would be the balance sheet accounts. This would be your assets, liabilities, and equity accounts. You would also include the capital and the withdrawals here as part of equity. Once again, the debit and credit columns do not initially equal. The difference is also the amount of net income. You will include this amount in order for both columns to equal.